everyone to another episode of the Definitive Crusade. I'm your host, joining me, Hughes, and joining me this time from across the big pond, as always, it's the lovely Freyja.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Freyja, how's it going?
It's going great.
Excellent. Excellent. Looking forward to these books.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Some of them.
All right. So, you know what? I did that whole thing. I was that eager beaver thing when it came to this first book.
Yeah.
We talked about it last time. So it just seems fair enough to me that if we're going to talk about the book, we might as well talk about the book, right? Right?
I guess.
What do you mean? Oh. You haven't got to hear what I've got to say about Shazam yet, so never mind.
Yeah, well.
We are talking, of course, the much maligned last time around. It is Catwoman 52, or as I like to call it, Selena is the new black. Tini Howard is the writer. Sam Besri is on art. Vincenti Cifuentes is on inks. Colors are by Veronica Gandini, and Lucas Gattoni is on letters. So, a new Catwoman.
Woo!
Woohoo! Woo! Do you like a new Catwoman?
No.
What was wrong with the last one? Right?
Yeah. Well, my main issue is that I'm sick of everything being, it's a mantle. We can put whoever we want because it's a mantle. I'm like, how about you just create your own damn original character and give them their own name? Stop trying to coast on the fame and the fans of this character, because guess what? Most of them aren't going to go, because this isn't Catwoman. This is someone completely different. This isn't Selena Kyle.
No, it is not Selena Kyle. This is Iko Hasegawa.
Yeah.
How's that do? You know Japanese. You know all Japanese. How'd that do there? That did all right there, didn't I?
What did you? Nah, I mean it was pretty good. It wasn't the worst I've heard. So, could have been worse. So.
Okay, fine, be like that.
Aww.
All right then. So, what did you? I mean, obviously, we talked about the costume last time around. It is probably, impracticalities. It's still got the little shrug jacket on that we mentioned last time. It's got the suspended, the bracelet, what you call it, garters. They've got the garters, but not really garters.
Yeah.
Going on.
It's just kind of ugly.
Yeah, it is. It's strange. It is a strange combination of different things.
Yeah.
I want to know when DC are going to get round to still believing that you can have feisty, strong, sexy, curvy women, instead of this offend no one, please no one attitude they've got when it comes to girls in comic books. But that's just a me thing, I guess.
It's kind of excuse my terminology. It's kind of misogynistic, because everything about a female's is offensive. Oh, boobs are offensive. I'm like, well, fuck you too. I have a chest. Get over it. Oh, women with hips are offensive. I'm like, do you just hate women? Is that what this is? You hate everything about women? You want them to look like dudes because you hate women? You hate the feminine form? Is that what this is? It's just kind of, if you really look at it, it's really kind of misogynistic, and you're like, what's wrong with having a chest and boobs and hips?
Go on.
I was going to say, stop demonizing it.
Yeah, I agree with you on this. I picked up a copy of a Deja Thoris book coming from Dynamite for Comic Crusaders this week. And I don't normally mind a bit of Deja Thoris, and I'm flicking through the book, and I'm thinking, should I review it, should I not review it? Come across this panel, and bear in mind, Deja's always pretty much half naked all the time anyway. She is drawn like this.
Like a 12-year-old boy.
Like, yeah, I've seen Coca-Cola bottles that have more curve on it than she does. And I was like, right, I'm done. I'm not doing it. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's more to her than just the curves, but if that's the character, that's the character. Get over the boob with Power Girl got a lot of grief for a variant cover this week. I should try and take a picture out of it so we can have a look at it. But
variant cover.
Yeah, there's let's see if I can quickly find it. I should have found it, to be honest. But I thought about it. But Power Girl variant cover. Let's see if I can find it. It is not that one. I think is it 1052 or 1053 that's coming out? Let's just check. 1052. The 1052 or 1053. Sorry about this. I should be. There it is. I found it. All right. Let me just grab it. Grab a quick of this, and then we will go with this. I'll show you what I mean.
Is it?
2 seconds. Stop Catwoman for a second. Share screen. It is the middle one of these that caused the problem. There you go. The middle one. Not that one. Not that one. But the middle one that caused all.
She looks hot. What's the problem?
Exactly. My point entirely. You know, that's a variant cover, and there's a lot of grief over the Twitterverse around that one.
Oh, we all know people on Twitter aren't real people.
I'm on Twitter. Anyway, back to the cats. So, Eco's running around with Tomcat or Alley Cat or whatever bunker's name he's got going on. She's playing the Green Hornet. She's playing the good and the bad guy all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liking this. On top of that, we get Selena in a new digs and her setting herself up. Already 2 issues in, Freyja, 2 issues. And already we've got the out of how she gets out of prison.
Yeah.
2 issues. And that's a
shocker.
Well, if you're going to do something like
shocker.
If you're going to do something like this, keep it for a while, right?
Yeah.
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 Other than that, it's just more prison shenanigans, trying to get one over the guards and so on and so forth. Here's the question for you. This book has 2 storylines in it. The Selena in prison and the Eco as Catwoman. Which one, if any, are you enjoying or reading?
I'm not really enjoying either, to be perfectly honest. But out of the 2, which one is more interesting? I would say Selena in prison. The new character is just flat in various ways, but but it's just, I don't know. I don't even remember what the other chick was doing, to be perfectly honest. I know that Selena's running a gang, and they're like, she's teaching them how to steal crap from, everyone and whatnot. And she's making herself, she knows what to do while in prison.
Yeah.
She's the head of a gang. But everything else, like with the other character, I'm just kind of like, she's kind of just boring. I do like Black Mask's mask, though. I think I've said that before. I like the new design. It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's because Selena stole the original, isn't it? That's the thing.
It's, I don't know. I don't find her story compelling. I don't really like her. It's just, plus I was not really enjoying this storyline anyway. So it's just not for me. So it's hard for me to like really give an unbiased opinion on it because I'm sick of Catwoman. She's like the Joker at this point. I'm like, can we move on from Catwoman, and someone else, please?
I find it interesting because, I mean, the art is okay. But I remember Sammy Badger when he was on Power Girl before the New 52 kicked in. And he spent time over with Harley and a whole host of the BAP titles. I don't know. The art just seems a little, I don't know what's the word. Not lame, but a little caricaturesque.
Generic?
Yeah, generic. I'll go with generic. I mean, that panel's not so bad.
Yeah, I don't like her little, whatever he is, sidekick either.
Sidekick. Well, he's been around a while.
Doesn't mean I don't like him.
Fair enough.
I still like him.
Fair enough. The art's just a little bit too Harley for me, I think.
Yeah.
I'd rather, when Tini Howard came on this book, it was deemed that she was going to bring the sexy feistiness back to the book, and I don't think she's done that at all.
I was gonna say I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, only because the first issue was set in a strip joint.
Was this a Steven Seagal movie? It's not. It doesn't make it better.
I'm just saying what happens.
I know, but that's not. Yeah, strip club. Ooh, it's not. That's not sexy and feisty. The Catwoman needs to be sexy and feisty, not the environment she's in. And
it's funny because I read Tini Howard's on. She's got a new Captain Britain book out for Marvel. I picked that up on no price, and that reads better than this.
Ooh.
And I'm disappointed. Catwoman. I'm gonna say Catwoman is the one book that I buy that I should drop, but I don't, because I have this fear that when I drop it, it'll become very interesting.
That's how they get you, Johnny. You should know that. How they get you.
But it's like, when I think back, I dropped Batgirl when she moved to Burnside for a while.
Yeah.
And they did the Babs Tart art, which wasn't for me. I was like, nope. I picked it back up when Babs Tart left. I dropped Nightwing when he was Rick.
Everyone dropped Nightwing when he was Rick. We like to pretend it doesn't exist anymore.
And then picked it back up when Dick Grayson came back. So I'm not against dropping books. But there's something about Catwoman I think to myself, I should buy it. And for the life of me, I'm not sure why that is anymore. I really don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. You have an addiction, Johnny. That's what it is. You're addicted to Catwoman.
No fishnets in it.
Yeah, no fishnets.
We'll save the fishnets for later. What are you hound for? They're there.
I know they're there. I know.
Would you expect anything less?
No.
Fishnets for the win.
Yeah.
All right then. Cool. So Catwoman. You know what? If you're a Catwoman fan, you might like it. If you're a Tini Howard fan, you're going to love it, I suppose. I just wish DC could work out what they were doing with it, and does she need to be tied to Batman? And I think Freyja, I think you've nailed it. At this point, Catwoman is as much Batman as Joker is, and there are other people out there.
Yeah, she really is. It's
good shout. All right, okay. Time for this. Looks like a job for
Superman.
All right, so this is the Dawn of DC book. It's Superman #1, written by Joshua Williamson, who's written shed loads of DC stuff. Some good, some bad, depending on your point of view. Art and colours are by Jamal Campbell, and letters are by Ariana Mayer, who is taking a break from doing her Marvel stuff. This is another kind of enforced choice that I kind of put on you on this one, Freya, so apologies.
Yeah,
for that.
yeah,
Sorry.
you kind of did. No.
Yeah, I know, but what are you going to do? What did you think of this book?
Honestly, I didn't hate it. Go figure. The one week that everyone's gone, I'm not ranting about everything.
They're going to think that I made you up. This is my AI doing this.
Yeah, this is all AI. I'm not really here. So, first of all, the art style, I kind of had like a love-hate relationship with it.
Okay.
I did not like Superman's design, specifically. He's too big, I don't know. He was
too super.
No, he's just the way his head, he was too massive. And I was like, I get it. He's Superman, but you can't tell me that people are going to think that Clark's a nerd when he's that freaking built. He's built like a bodybuilder in this. No one's going to be thinking this dude's a nerd. So I'm like, okay. And it's just in his head and his face sometimes really bugs me in specific. Where's that one? It's, when he's in Supercorp specifically, like that. Whenever they have his face, just like I don't know, and then where was it? That one, his face is really long, and you go farther in. I think the next that page or the page after. No, it's page after that when she has her finger on his chest. I think it's before that. But like she puts her finger on his chest right there.
That one.
And then he has a chubby face all of a sudden.
Yeah.
He's very round. And I'm like,
That's what happens when you look like that. Look. I've got 7 necks now.
Yeah, but this dude yeah, well, it's just
be nice.
The face. And then the next page over, that's the face that really bothers me. It's like, of course Luthor would do that. Like, what is with your face? This particular, I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with it, but I don't like the look. It just weirds me out, and it's just something, I don't know why. Maybe he looks like an actor I don't like, but I don't like
I think the shades of Justice League, the cartoon in this, is the not. The way he's kind of really like top heavy.
Yeah. I mean, but other than my little nitpicks and my personal dislike for certain things, it's a pretty okay story so far. I mean, it is the first issue, so it's a nice setup for things. I do like Lois in this. She's very aggressive. So I like
Lois.
Yeah, she's very Lois, and I like that. And Jimmy Olsen's being Jimmy Olsen. I like how he's back. I do like the he's wearing sound canceling headphones just to keep Lex to shut up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, stop talking to me, man. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the setup. I like this. I'll probably check out the next issue too, and see how it is. So
I was enjoying this. I thought, you know what, this is a slice of nice, easy going Superman.
Yeah.
And I was all right with this. And then it got creepy.
Oh yeah, I wasn't going to mention the end. The end is really what hooked me. I'm like, that's so cool. That's so cool.
I'm reading this book thinking, just having a quiet Sunday, reading a Superman book, as you do, having a nice, easy 10 o'clock, and then boom, the chopping up Bizarro. I'm like, oh my God.
Bizarro.
I'm like, hey, we haven't seen Bizarro for ages, so it's good to see.
No, we haven't.
But then the whole idea of Parasite and the family of parasites, the previous page, that's even scarier.
The gross.
You're like, whoa. So he's gone from Williamson's gone from generic superhero stuff to stuff of nightmares in the space of 2 pages.
Yeah, it's great. I liked it a lot. It was great. I love the switch ups and things. It keeps you on your toes. It makes for an interesting story.
I think Parasite's one of those characters that can probably go toe to toe with Superman quite easily.
Yeah, because Superman's very touchy when he fights, like Wonder Woman. And Parasite is kind of Rogue-esque with the whole snatching your powers, which is why Rogue would win in a fight with Wonder Woman.
Yeah, true. But I will say, when it comes to Parasite, it's a more I know it's we're talking about Superman, but it's a more grounded villain. With Brainiac, he's going to take over the world. With Lex, he's going to do something devious and dastardly. There's those. Darkseid is a Justice League villain now, not a Superman villain. So Parasite to me is one of those true Superman villains that goes toe to toe at a street level. All he wants to do is eat. He doesn't want to take over the world. He doesn't want to run the Daily Planet. He doesn't want to be mayor of Metropolis. He just wants to eat, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I quite like the idea of that. It also goes some way into showing that it's a threat that ironically Superman should get help for.
Yeah, but he won't.
But he doesn't.
Yeah, but he won't. Yeah. But he won't.
It's crazy. So I quite like the idea of Parasite. It's always been a favourite. I do like the teaser page, the double spread teaser. We get Livewire in here. We get Lex. We get the mysterious dudes at the top. Looking forward to Silver Banshee. Bit of an old school character, I think. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I am too. I want them to bring back more of these different villains, you know, like I said.
Yeah, villains that don't necessarily need to take over the world.
Yeah. We can do with just like a one-off issue fights with villains or 2 issues. We don't need these massive. Oh, we have to do a 20 issue special for this particular. I'm like, seriously.
No, I agree. I think sometimes, and we're going to touch on it after the break, but some of the kind of character-driven mini events rather than the company-wide mini events don't work so well. And so if you have like this ongoing thing, like War World, for example, that only existed in the Superman books. You would have thought it would have appeared in Justice League, but there's no Justice League because they're not in Dark Crisis, and so on and so forth. And it kind of thinks yourself, well, maybe we should just get back to Superman doing Superman things. And I think this book pretty much sets that off really well. If that's going to be the move going forward, at least.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Who'd have thunk it we'd agree on so many books?
I know, it's weird. Maybe I am AI.
Well, it's not going to, don't trust me, it's going to change in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, is it? Who knows? Who knows? All right. Time for one of our ads. And you know what? I think we should do, I know it's a short one, but I think we should do this one. Here we go. It's the Old Timers.
Do you want to find out what makes the professor do his happy dance? Check out the Old Timers Comic Book Show, only on the UCPN.
Woo! Go, Professor. Don't forget to check out the Old Timers Comic Book Show, primarily because an extra episode is dropping tomorrow after this show, where the guys talk with none other than DC guru of the Bronze Age, Paul Kupperberg. There you go. There you go. Cool. Go check that out. Some Power Girl in there. What can I say? Right. Okay. Next up was, and I'm not pulling rank on this at all in any shape, way, or form, but it is genuinely Freyja's choice.
Yeah, gotta do what I gotta do sometimes.
Only choice. Because I was being a bit of a hard ass today, so apologies for that. Right, so this is Shazam! Woo! Fury of the Gods. Now, this is one of those books that has umpteen different creators, umpteen different writers, and so on and so forth. So, as always, when we do these sort of books, we'll talk about the stories we liked. I'll talk about the stories I hate, all of it, and then we'll go from there. All right. So I'll start off because I've got a lot to say about this. Great cover, love the cover, well done. The other thing I'd say about it is hashtag ego trip. That's all I'm saying. And then I'll get to my point in a minute.
Freyja, how so? Ego trip, how so?
How's it an ego trip? Well, I'm glad you asked this. So the guy that plays
Zachary Levi.
Yeah, he writes a story.
Him and one of the other actors.
Yeah, Grace, what's her face? Who plays Mary?
No, another one did too.
See, this is what I'm talking about, man.
DJ
Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
No, I thought of that though. DJ Cal. He's on the first book or the first story.
All right, okay. DJ Katrona, is that something like that?
Yeah.
Right. Here's my issue then. We discovered this recently. We looked at a comic and it was written by Nicole. I don't know her surname. I apologize, but it's Dreamer from the Supergirl show.
Yeah.
And we've seen it recently when the guy that plays the Riddler in the Batman movie, Paul. I'm blanking on names. Apologies.
I don't know actors' names usually unless I meet them.
So, why? Where'd you go for parties?
I meet actors. I've run into a couple of them.
Really? Like who?
I've met the actor. What's his name? Tom Fulton, Draco Malfoy. I've met the girl who's Luna Lovegood. I've met Ginny Weasley, Fred and George Weasley.
Oh, so Potters.
The guy.
Right, you've met Potters. All right, okay.
I've met Potters. I've met the guy who plays Jaime Lannister. I've met the old Green Ranger, Tommy.
Really?
I met him. He's hilarious. Jason Momoa. I have run into Zachary Levi, Felicia Day. The guy who was in Doctor Who.
David Tennant?
No, not David Tennant. I wish I met David Tennant. No, he was the guy who was annoying David Tennant.
Matt Smith.
No, I saw him from a distance. Not Matt Smith, but
the one before or after.
He had his own spin-off show, Torchwood.
What's his face? Yeah.
Yeah, he's hilarious too. John Barrowman. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
So I met quite a few. Carrie Ellis was pretty. He was really nice.
I must have loved the shout with life.
Yeah.
All right. So all these, these actors go and play a character on a TV screen. That means somewhere along the line they think they can write a comic book. And as we found out with the Dreamer book, that's not the case. As we found out by the Mary story in this, that's not the case. As we find out about the Billy Batson story in this, that's not the case. Stop it. Stop. It's as simple as this. You want to be associated with a character? Fine. Knock your socks off. But I don't see Michael Keaton writing any Batman books. I don't see Jason Momoa writing any Aquaman books. Mainly because I hear that Aquaman 2 stinks, but whatever. I don't see Tom Holland writing any Spider-Man books. There's a reason why actors are actors. It's because they can act.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I like to sing in the shower. Doesn't mean I'm going to release a pop record anytime soon. You know what I'm saying?
So you're lucky Matthew's not here. Because he'd say it's a shit take like you did with me during the Dreamer thing. I'm like, dude, come on now.
I thought you were like disparage my singing there. I've got a great singing voice. I can hit all the notes, just not in the right order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So what did you like? This was your bill. You picked it, so
doesn't mean I liked it, but
yeah.
I pick a lot of things I hate.
Yeah, no. Tell me about it. I'm getting the Freyja rant thing ready just in case.
Just in case. So here's the thing. I picked this book because the movie's coming out or it's out or whatever. So, and we talk about Batman all the time or Batman related, blah, blah, blah. So I usually try to go for, if I can, characters or books that, we don't usually talk about. The story, it started off okay. But then it just devolved into, like the first one, it just devolved into just cringy, stupid shit that they think kids would say. Like one of them when they're running away is like, I really have to pee. I have no idea. I'm like, why is this even in here? This is fucking dumb. Like, and I was like, this whole thing, I'm like, there is, because the story was fine, but the things they were having them, like, these weird one-liners and stuff, I'm like, it really feels like, and it's embarrassing because they're people my age or around my age. It feels like that meme, the hello children. I'm like, you don't.
Yeah.
How about you go and actually talk to a child, or just be or have your niece or nephew, or if you have kids in your family, and just like pay attention to how they talk to each other.
Yeah.
And not how you think children talk, because this is cringy and stupid. Because I'm pretty sure if a kid's running away from a giant dog, he's not going to bring up the fact he has to pee. It's just stupid.
Well,
and there was other stuff like that throughout it. It's just like the stories went, I just punched Abraham Lincoln. I'm like, who is this?
Yeah, I saw that one.
For? And I'm like, why does he have a fly swat? I don't get it. It was doing fine until then. And then it just, it devolved. It just fell apart super fast in the first story. The second story, I couldn't even get through the art because of the art. I was like, oh my gosh, this is some like Tumblr shit. Oh, I saw like the 2000s, like or the 2010s. I hate this art style. So I didn't even bother reading it. I'm like, oh, I hate this art style. It makes me want to vomit. So
ooh, sparkles.
Glitter.
I thought that would be your thing with them, man.
What?
I thought you like glitter and sparkles.
I do like glitter and sparkles, but that's just like
go.
rainbow vomit, rainbow glitter and sparkles. I'm not that level, you know. The third one, I don't know what he was doing. I also kind of skimmed that one. I skipped the Lizard Man story altogether, to be perfectly honest. And then the one, yeah, there's like lizard people. The one that really pissed me off the most, and it's probably because I'm a gamer, was the one. Which story is it? Shazam Family Matters. It's one after the lizard story about Eugene.
All right, here we are. Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, he likes the game and stuff, and I'm like, I get what the overlaying message is, and yes, you need to put limits on how much you game and whatever, especially children, because they need their brains to develop properly. But at the same time, I'm kind of sick of this like demonizing video games bullshit thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I get, like I said, it's just and I'm like, why is he mopping his bedroom? Because he's just like mopping the bedroom. He has carpet. Why is he mopping the mess? It's just
maybe he got really excited.
Yeah, and then he's ridiculous, and I'm like, I get it. It's a kid thing, but it's just maybe I'm just sensitive because I'm a gamer. I'm like, I'm just sick of this. Games are bad. Games are evil. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, the real.
I actually hear you. I agree with you.
It's just
a whole lot. Everything in moderation is fine, right?
Yeah, like you know, everything can be bad if you have too much of it. Like, you know, oh, you're healthy, but you're exercising too much and you're damaging yourself, or you end up in the hospital because you're pulling or you're tearing your, you know, muscles or something, or you're drinking too much, or you're on social media too much, or you're, you know, eating too much. Yeah, not eating enough. You're not, you know,
reading too many comics.
Reading too many comics. Growing up, I was told I've read too much. So,
See, my mum dated a guy after the divorce. He's actually the father of my. So there's me and my brother. Then my mum met a guy, had a child. So my sister from that relationship, and he was so insecure about people.
Yeah.
That when we went to bed, we weren't allowed to read. And if we read a book downstairs, we got told off for turning the pages too loud. Jeez. All because he was like super insecure about his own, you know, I don't know, idiocy, I suppose, or his own lack of knowledge. You know,
well, you could always fix that. You pick up a book and you start reading.
Yeah. I don't think the guy knew his ABCs. But bless it. Well, he did because he was a driver, so he obviously knew enough to pass his test. But I just found it ludicrous, and I would never tell anybody not to read.
Yeah.
I'd say diversify your reading. You know,
yeah.
Don't just read the same thing over and over. You know, like, you know, I've just gone through a spate of reading some Michael Connelly books. I've now jumped onto an autobiography. You know, diversify.
Yeah, I finished rereading Lord of the Rings, and I'm jumping back into the Star Wars legacy books, and I'm reading
Timothy Zahn stuff.
Yeah, I'm currently reading Alliance. The one with the it's really good. I'm like, huh. I was reading it. I'm like, these ex-stormtroopers are very oddly similar to the Bad Batch.
Well,
I'm like, this is very similar, guys. I was like, But I'm really enjoying that. And I understand now that I'm an adult, I understand what my parents were actually talking about when they were telling me I was reading too much. Because I would take books to family functions.
Yeah.
So I could like zone out and ignore everybody. Like I took books camping and stuff, and to like family reunions. And they're like, you need to socialize. But I'm an introvert, so I didn't want to socialize, even if they were my family.
I was. This is therapy hour now. It's turned into. I was single for a while, and I was staying at my brother's. This is going back about 20 odd years or so, even probably. Right? And they invited a girl over for like food, and it's kind of like a blind datey type thing. Well, after we had the food and stuff, and they were eating the dessert, I went upstairs, got my paperback, and sat downstairs and read it. And they're like, "This is something I would never ever genuinely do." And that she was really quite miffed, and she left. I didn't get a number, and I wasn't interested in a number at all in any shape, way, or form. Yeah. But that's the only way I could think of getting out of the whole situation.
That's kind of funny.
I just like you so much. I'm going to read a book.
Yeah, you're so boring. I'd rather go upstairs and grab my book right now. Yeah. Alcohol. I know that feeling.
I get what you're saying about this book. I know there's different artists in there, but after this first book, this first story, other than the Sparkle one, I couldn't tell much after the difference after that. Sparkle is different.
They all kind of blurred together,
don't they? And I get the film isn't good. I mean, I just haven't seen the first Shazam film, so
I haven't either.
So I'm probably the wrong person to say this. But my feeling is that it's kid friendly, which I don't have a problem about. The reason I like DC movies is there are different tones. It's not always the plug and play version of Marvel Universe where anybody can be an Avenger. It is each film has its own tone.
Yeah. As it should, because each superhero has their own tone. Batman is dark and gritty because he deals with dark and gritty themes and trauma and people who have trauma and people who need help mentally, and and his city is completely just terrible. Superman's super Boy Scout man, and he's very like the American way, freedom, blah blah blah. And so his needs to be more positive. Right, positive. Wonder Woman, she kind of fluctuates, but she's very much the hope machine as well. So hers need to end kind of on a lighter note as well. But they're not goofy like Shazam is, and Shazam's that way because it's a 16-year-old boy who gets superpowers.
Well, and this is the other crux of the problem for me. We all know that the word Shazam is built up of the gods of the past, right?
Yeah. Everyone's is different. Mary's is different. Everyone has different gods. Yeah.
So one of them is the wisdom of Solomon. Now, if you had the wisdom of Solomon, would you act like Shazam does when he's Shazam? No, you wouldn't. You'd be a bit more astute about the whole thing, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and that's something I had an issue with these movies, these current ones, is that they made him a little too teenagery. Like even in the old cartoons and stuff, he would say and do things that the Justice League were like, what are you on about? But he still was not like super immature. Like he was immature and you could tell, but he wasn't incredibly immature. Because wisdom is not the same as intelligence, and it's just it's a different thing. But and I did like how he was, at least in the leadership qualities, he was trying to be a better leader. And I like that because that's a very wise thing to do, is if you're lacking in something, you try to better yourself in that. Yeah. And so I did. So there's certain things in certain of these stories that I liked. Like I like the dog one because I'm just a sucker for dogs. Yeah. I thought it was cute, and the cute little puppers, But overall, I would say with this book, I liked it, but not enough to buy it. So
and this is this is an interesting shout because I mean it's a giant size one, right?
Yeah.
So this is going to be. Let me just double check before Fury of the Gods. Fury of the Gods. This book is going to cost you $9.99. I thought it would be.
Honestly, that's not bad here because that's the same as a meal at McDonald's. Actually, it's less than a meal at McDonald's.
$9.99. $9.99.
Yeah, getting a meal at McDonald's, even the basic one, is going to be at least $11.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's about £6 here.
Yeah, it's expensive here.
Burger King would be 11. Just saying.
Burger King, I don't eat there. It's trash.
Because McDonald's is so much better.
Well, at least their fries are hot. I always get cold, soggy, nasty fries at Burger King.
Leadership qualities is the best story in this book by far for me. But again, it reads more mature than it should. So it lends me to think this book is not aimed at me. This book is aimed at the kids that are going to go and watch the Shazam movie. They're going to have a good time. They're going to come back, want something zany. So I kind of applaud DC in making sure that when the kids go to see the movie and then they come back out, they can actually buy a book that resembles the movie.
Yeah. The characters act like the characters in the movie. Yeah.
Exactly. Because I think Marvel don't do that. If you go to an Avengers movie and then you come out of it, you're not going to find the same group of Avengers in the comic book that you get in the movie.
The problem with the MCU, sorry, even though we're not
go for it.
The problem with the MCU is that they're now trying to make every single movie like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies with that zany, like comedy BS. It's all stupid, and that's why Thor gradually got more and more stupid, and it just didn't work. We needed, because Thor is not a zany, dumb character, and is not a comedy character, and neither was Iron Man, and neither was Black Widow or Hulk or anything like that. So they changed the tones, because in the MCU now everyone has the same tone, and that's why the movies suck, because it seems like all of the, it's not like you go and you watch a Batman movie and then it's not bright and cheery and they're cracking jokes all the time. That'd be fucking weird. And it's the same thing with the MCU, and that's why I don't watch MCU movies anymore.
Well, this is some of the problem with the MCU, the Marvel comic books anyway. The fact is, I've said this before on No Prize Podcast, you can take characters out of the Marvel movie, replace it with another Marvel character, and nothing changes. They all crack the same joke. They all have the same sort of humor. Which is why I call it plug and play, because it's just like whatever, just mix it up and just go for it. But you're right. The first Thor movie is funny, not intentionally funny, because it's a fish out of water story. It makes it fun to see him powerless and being a complete doofus. Once he gets his power back, he turns into a proper Thor and everything's fine. Yeah. But nobody else decided that and just wanted to keep him comedy Thor. And after Ragnarok, the joke's got pretty thin now.
Yeah, the screaming goats were funny for like the first couple times, but then I'm like, shut them up, please. It's just, I think the last like Marvel movie, quote unquote, that I really, really enjoyed was Logan. And I guess I could throw Deadpool in there too, but Deadpool is its own thing. But
I suppose the last one I saw that I really enjoyed was Back to the Future. Sorry, I mean Endgame.
Endgame.
I always get them two mixed up.
Yeah, I don't know. Endgame, by that point, I was just kind of like,
Yeah.
But,
although I do have a question about where Spider-Man hangs his web to swing from when there's nothing in the sky above.
We don't talk about that.
Nobody talks about that.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about this then. This is our final book of the show. This is Batman versus Robin #6. It's also the finale of the Lazarus Planet. It is the finale of this series. This is it. 6 issues and done. Written by Mark Waid with art by Mahmoud Azara. The fantastic, incomparable Geordie Belair is on colours and Steve Wands is on letters. So this was my official choice. Yeah. And I looked at this to pick it. And then without even realizing it was in my pull order when I went and picked up yesterday. So I've kind of spot myself on that one. So basically the way this works, it's a version of Gladiator in the Doors, isn't it, really? Basically, Batman's he's been possessed by the evil demon, and the demon is sustaining Batman's life. So if you get rid of the demon, Batman dies. Oh no. So you can't leave the demon in Batman, because then the demon will take over Batman and Batman dies. So what do? Is it the door on the left or is it the door on the right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so Damien being Damien, he's not wanting to give up lightly. He comes up with a lovely little plan in which that he will force distraction upon said demon. He will then utilize a bunch of magic givers, including the Monkey Prince. And of course, good old, where is she? Where is she? Bring on fishnets. The Bat family to cause distractions. Zatanna and the magic dudes will turn up to oust the demon from Batman, and then Damien is going to give up his soul to save his dad. Absolutely, what an honourable thing to do. When you think about Damien, that's not what you think he's going to do at all, right?
Oh.
But then, where is she? I'm waiting for where she's in here somewhere.
She's at near the end.
Hey,
there you are.
Fishnets. Woo!
There I love the old school costume of hers.
Yeah, I hope this.
I love it.
We've seen you in this a couple of times recently, so I hope this is a swear back. If they're keeping Power Girl with the boob window, then
yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you guys. Now just fix Enchantress's outfit so she doesn't look like a soccer mom, and we'll be good.
I didn't realize that was Enchantress. I thought that was
or green source.
Omen. I thought it was Omen from the from the new Power Girl book, the telepath.
I don't think that was Enchantress.
No, it is Enchantress. You're right. But, however, things go awry because Batman is so battered and bruised that one soul won't do it. All right, and that means they have to do something dramatic. And Damien goes out on a limb, goes out and broadcasts to Gotham and gets everyone to have a "We Are Spartacus" moment, and "We are Batman, we are Batman." And normally stuff like this, that's cheese on toast, would absolutely, I'd be like throwing the book away. But at the end of reading this book the other day, in the middle of a cafe, I was stood up, and I'm like, "I am Batman!" And everyone just looked at me as if I was crazy. Which,
I am Batman.
Yeah, we are Batman. Yeah, so I should have had more faith in Mark Waid's writing because he's an absolute genius when it comes to this. He spent time on Bat. He's wrote Justice League books. He's wrote Kingdom Come. He's been all over. He's done shed loads of stuff. He's not just done. He's done Flash. He's done stuff for Marvel. He is a true comic legend, and he pulls this out, incorporating a whole host of characters that we wouldn't think would come continuity. When we started Monkey Prince, did we think it was going to be continuity?
No,
but they've weaved him in there. I thought,
which I'm happy for.
Yeah, I knew you would be. I love this book.
That's a great panel.
This book absolutely restored my jaded faith in comic books for a little while. So thank you, Mark Waid, for doing that, and for everyone involved in this book, because I thought, event books kind of come, they go. This one has been probably one of the weakest of the most recent ones, because they hint at things changing, but we don't see too many. I mean, all right, so Power Girl's a telepath now.
Okay. Yeah. That's all right then.
And Supergirl gets drained by the yellow sun. But, it's like, other than that, what's changed? But, moments like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's no longer Batman versus Robin. It's now Batman and Robin. Yeah. And I think it's about time. It's about damn time that we had a Batman and Robin proper team up book back again.
Yeah. I like this book a lot, honestly. I love this book. I love having Monkey Prince show up. I love his books. I really encourage people to read those. They're ridiculous. I love them. And I like, I'm going on a tangent with Monkey Prince. He is exactly what I'm talking about when I say, if you want diverse characters, create a new one, make it a good story with good art, make it, and then people will like him. And then you can, you start from scratch, but then you will raise and have fans of the characters. Yeah. And that's what you need to do instead. And it won't piss anyone off because he's an original character. They're not going to say, oh, you're race swapping because blah, 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 because it shows that you actually care about this character. They're not just being thrown onto these legacy characters, already have a fan base, but like, well, I don't believe this character is good enough to have their own, name and identity. So we're going to slap a Robin logo on them and, or a Batman logo or a Catwoman. And it's insulting, to be perfectly honest. And because it just means that you get nothing but scraps. You can have the table scraps from the good characters because you don't deserve your own character. Because we need, what's his name, Onyx back?
Yes.
Onyx. He's a great character, but they won't use him. And then Katie Kane, where's Batwoman? She's gone. She's just gone now. So I like seeing him. I like seeing Monkey Prince in this because I'm like, good, finally. And the same thing with Punchline. She's a great original character as well. And,
until you read her book.
Until you read her book. But same thing with. But the potential is there, and they just need to focus on it. So I like that. I like how he integrated the magic in. He's like, hey, I can help you with your dad. And I love how he keeps talking. Rob's like, shut up. He's like, keeps going. And he's like, shut up. And he's like, I know you don't want to hear this, but I have to tell you. I'm like, I love the dynamic between the two.
Very similar between him and John.
Yeah, and I miss John. I think that's why I like this so much. I hated that they aged him up. I just wish they didn't do that because I love the back and forth of the personalities, and I like that. I like having everyone show up at the end to get rid of the demon inside of Bruce. It's great. I like how Talia is calling her son and talking to him and being like, "Hey, this is what's going on." I did laugh at the I Am Batman Spartacus moment because all I could think about was Dragon Ball Z. At the end of the Majin Buu saga, when Goku's like, "People of Earth, send me."
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Send me your life force, and I will, because he's creating the spirit bomb to destroy it. It's like, people of Earth, the creatures that they'll send him bits of his life force to. That's all I can think about was freaking Dragon Ball Z, and they even did something like that in one of the movies. They're fighting Brawly, and he's like, "Send me your power, and I will kill him." It's all I can think about. And so, like, okay, that kind of ruined that moment for me. It is a great moment, and that's why they use it. Is something like this. It can, if it's written well, it actually hits like what you said. You're like, yeah, and that's that's, and it was written well, so it was really good. But I think my overall favorite part was when Bruce wakes up and he's like, Damien, it's like, oh, it's the father moment that I always knew that Bruce had, because for some reason they've been kind of making him a crappy father to Damien recently, and I don't know why, because the man lost his own parents. You would think that he would really hone in on being a good father to his son, And so I really loved that whole sweet moment with him and Damien. They hug at the end, and I love stuff like that. So, because that's my Batman. That's my Batman.
Bless your
It's just, I love that, because superheroes are supposed to, have that, connection with you, and it's, like the saving the girl from jumping or stuff like that, and people love those parts of the comics. It's uplifting, it's hopeful, and it's great.
It makes me laugh because you're absolutely right about legacy characters and how they get misused or overwritten or overtyped to create something new. It makes me laugh how bad comic books are at it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they can be fantastic at it, because you think, Dick Grayson's the original Robin.
Yeah.
Love him or hate him, Jason Todd was a Robin.
Yep.
Jason Todd died. Robin didn't die. Tim Drake came along. He was a really popular Robin. Steph Brown came along. Carrie Kelly was there. Now you've got Damien. All these characters have played a Robin. And yet each one is distinctly different from each other.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder how you can get it so right with something like a Robin style character and then get it so wrong everywhere else.
Yeah. I feel like with a lot of them, because the Robins are so distinct in personality, and then for some reason, the these other characters, sometimes they feel like stereotypes, or they feel like they're trying to be the one that came before.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
So, because, you know, and because some of them, like, they're kind of currently just shitting all over Tim Drake right now, to be perfectly honest.
Well,
have you read his current run? Those books are so bad, and it's just painful, and that's why I'm like, why do they?
I mean, I don't mind. I've got to be honest. I have no preference one way or another if he's dating Spoiler or if he's dating his boyfriend.
That's not even what I'm talking about.
I don't care one way or the other. But I look at that book and it turns me off. I'm like, the art is terrible. It doesn't encourage me to read the book. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, you know? In the storyline, it's just it's falling into the same thing that happened to the Batwoman book. They're so hyper focused on his sexuality and what he is. They're missing the whole point of why people like Robin and why people like Tim Drake. And that's why I'm like, we're fine with gay characters, or you know, but you have to write them well, like the straight characters. Batman doesn't go and have freaking flashbacks and talk about all of his past girlfriends in every book.
Just as well, that'd be a whole new book.
It'd be like every rooftop. Oh, I remember when I banged so and so here. I remember when I did this.
Love's Lost of Batman.
Yeah, and it's like it would never end, and that's we complained about that with the Batwoman book, because every single book with that Batwoman series, she would have a flashback to her girlfriend, her ex-girlfriend, and I'm like, and then one of them, she had a flashback, and we missed the entire fight between her and Mr. Pig. We missed the whole Professor Pig. There we go. Professor Pig. We missed the entire fight. She was going in to attack him. Flashback. All of a sudden, he's apprehended. We're like, we read these books to see that part, not to see the romance, and especially when it's every single freaking book.
It's just everything in moderation, I think, which is the theme of the show.
Everything in moderation, exactly.
Freyja, it's been an absolute blast spending the hour with you. Thank you so much for joining me.
No problem.
Anytime. All right, excellent. Don't forget to check out UCPN for all your favorite shows, including Freyja,
K-Pop Cosmos, where we talk about and highlight K-pop groups throughout the years.
And when you're doing your Fishnet special, and when am I getting invited to
that? Fishnet special? I could invite you to this next one, but I don't know, Johnny. I don't know.
Do I have to dress for the part or something? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'll do a special episode just talking about girl groups and fishnets just for you. I'll put that together.
Yes. We are Batman. And of course, you saw the trailer for it earlier, the Old Timers Comic Book Show. That has that interview with Paul Kupperberg. Go check it out. Dead fun if you like your comics all there. And of course, I was just showing No Prize podcast, where we talk about Marvel, the MCU, and Disney Plus, along with me throwing in some DC tidbits in there just as well. All right, Freyja, thanks again.
No problem.
No problem. I've been your host, Johnny Machine Hughes, and always, adios.
Hi, guys.